We're gonna write an indie ambient folk song today. There is nothing better than these moments of inspiration that hit, and I've got to run into the studio and start working. Can't think about anything else. I skip lunch, I skip dinner, but that really never happens for me. That's not the way I work. This is going to be one of the longer videos where I just go through my I cut some things out. I didn't leave everything in, but I go through my process and show you how I get from A to B to C to D. The video was getting close to 30 minutes, so I decided to not include the mixing portion. If you want a detailed video of how I approach the mix, there is a link in the description. There's my wife. Can I have like 3 minutes?
So you want me to go away?
Well, you're keeping me from my work, my process.
I wouldn't want to do that. I like how your studio has expanded to the hallway and the living room.
And by indie ambient folk, I mean lo-fi guitar underscore built for emotional clarity and cinematic restraint. So we're not getting big here. Fusing acoustic and electric guitar, okay. We will for sure use my baby here. This is my Froggy Bottom. That's an A minor, 7. I do have this other guitar, which is only gonna be with me for a while, I think. It was a hand-me-down. Beautiful guitar. Every time I pick it up and play it, I think, I am gonna keep it, but I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that. It was my father-in-law's. He passed away. And when I say that, I probably shouldn't get rid of it, but I'm looking more for that Gibson sound. If you know, you know. And we will use this guy. This is just a Facebook Marketplace parts caster. You don't need to know all this, but I ordered a pick guard as well. It's got a relic job. I think I'm gonna try my hand at refinishing. It's probably a huge mistake and waste of my time. And I'm also gonna try to put a little age on that neck. I like old stuff, and I like new stuff that looks old in a non-fake way. In addition to that, it's about to get less bright. If you're seeing this mid to late September 2025, Somerville Sounds has a sale. We're going to try to use as many of these as possible. Post felt, Genesis pipe organ, woven violin. My top-down camera, I'm trying to get this stuff and this, and I think what I have is a bad version of both angles. Sorry. Soft drums. Mallet drums. The Elskavan toolkit. The free prototypes. By the way, do not require contact or a serial number, the free sounds. Everything else is contact. Dusty felt piano. Gentle vibes. The Meyer choir. Soft drums light. The rubber bridge guitar. It's gonna be more of an acoustic thing, but I was messing around with this because it's new and I always like the newer things. Heavily featuring the Chroma console, which it makes me feel young. Without it, funky delay there. Turn the delay back on. It's a tape delay with some filtering and distortion and such. And then we turn this back on. It's got a drive happening, some pitch diffusion, which is like the reverb. But the main thing is this texture. The interference setting. Let's go with that tempo there. Let's bring in a click track. That's pretty close. Let's start on an A minor, then to a C, then to a G, then to an F. And I'm going to use different inversions all over the neck. A minor. C. I think this sound is fun. It kind of meets the indie and the ambient requirements. I hear pretty heavy on the acoustic finger picking thing, and then all the other ambience just as a combination of all the sounds. I'm just laying down a basic part. 1, 2. I'll keep it simple. A minor. C. Different G there, up high now. We're not in a hurry. We're just going to do all that again. Maybe a little more intensity or some picking notes. A little suspension. Same thing again. Position there at a high G. Then D minor. Let's do it again. We're already way into 2 minutes, which is about where we need to be for a production music track. And again, I'm resisting the urge to make this track get big and build into something, which is what I always want to do. It's okay to have some lifts, and I will, but the goal here is not to just blow the doors off. Just one more time. Start over. We'll go to the A minor. I think the best deal here. Oh, stop talking. Just going to end on the A minor because most of the track is in the A minor. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give myself a C just in case I change my mind. All right, that's enough of you. If I have an emblem made and I call it the Jonocaster, we okay with that? If more of you say yes than no, then I'm going to do it. You know what? Before we go to the acoustics, let's keep building a little bit of ambience here. Genesis pipe organ, what do we got? And I'm not going to give it much thought, but this is in the foundations. It's the first one, A Message from the Deep. Hopefully you can see my... And we're going to keep it simple. I'm just going to go the first and the third because I got a lot more to add. I don't want to get like this too fast. Listen to all that. You have this glitchy movement that's happening, so if I turn this off, you can hear. That's just the glitch. But when you combine it with everything else, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's just keep this simple. a C in there. I think we just need a little soft drums kick. Let's go with the natural sound. We're going to have this throughout the whole song. Duplicate a ton. Let's see what happens when we do an antiquarian echo pad. It's just the sound that shows up when you open the thing. But I can do the cutoff. What happens if I turn up the resonance? Nah, just keep it simple. Let's just roll with that. Whole song. I'll probably fast forward through this, but I'm just going to adjust the cutoff filter. When it comes back in after the bridge, let's go ahead and add a little snare. It's hard to play them slow and quiet. So rushing. More working on the variations. Whew, I know I got way ahead. I'm going to select all of these and move them all back. I'm going to do a strength of like 59. That sounds good. To 60 notes, hit apply. Let's see what happens. I'm going to grab all the dynamics of these kicks in this last section and bring them up. Okay, just for fun, let's introduce woven around the bridge. It goes to the 2 minor, the 1 chord to the D minor, the 1 chord. Lean towards those chord tones, 3rd in the D minor. Then you got the E, the 3rd in the C. And then when you get to the G, if I play a D there, it's the 5th. Let's see what restraints. Let's pick it up from the A section here. Looking up. Look at my kind of a dip and then a movement up, and then we're going up and down, and I try to keep a natural flow. Let's bring the family in, the minor choir. One. Gotta get the kid from school here in a second. Stop the click. Just hit this. Let's switch these guys out. Yeah. I'll be right back. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time to pick up the kiddo from school. Looks like I've been awarded a medal. I don't think it's just show up. Okay, let's do some bass. It's a new day, by the way. You can probably tell. Let's use the Elskavon toolkit for the bass. And I have Submelt pulled up. Sounds like a bass. We can trick it up. That's pretty cool. But as the track builds, maybe we could bring this up. Sorry, only one camera right now. Let's put this on MIDI CC. And then we've got our filter here so we can... Let's wait till the third time through that main section. What happens if we give it like a swell? So let's slow the attack down. We're going to start with the main knob all the way down. We'll adjust the filter. Let's see if we can lengthen that. Slightly longer attack. There we go. There we go. All right, let's hit some mallet drums real quick. Let's do like a tom groove. We've got deep toms, lively toms. I want the deep here. Ba-da-boom, ba-da-boom. I get that drummer couldn't do those two things at the same time, but it's an overdub. Why not? Let's look at our rubber bridge here. How does this compare? Let's listen to the Elskavon bass. So rubber bridge is our rubber bridge guitar. It can do some fun stuff. But in this tune, I think I could use it as bass, which I've done quite a bit, demonstrated that from time to time. But what happens if I drive it along with this bass? Yeah, let's do that. I think they work together. I could roll off some of the bottom end from the rubber bridge guitar if necessary. Soft drums light. Very similar to the soft drums full, not nearly as flexible, but it does have some fun things. Let's see what happens if we put that in here. Put a bunch of reverb and delay on it. It's way too present right now. Double time. Quantize that some. Lots of reverb coming, but we're not going to mess with that now. What can we make gentle vibes do? Just the harder sound. A minor. C. This I hear like a. Let's do dual echo and do one with the eighth. Bring up the feedback. Just see what happens when we put a pitch plug in. Little altar boy is always fun. Oh, there we go. Bring in some of the dry signal, drive it. You just want to feel it, not really hear it. It has been a few days. I've got to finish this in the next hour. Looks like I've used everything but post felt and the free piano. Let's look at Dusty Felts. What happens if we play something rhythmic like that? You know what? We're just going to keep it simple and do octaves on the bass right there. Now, post felt. Ooh, something like that could be fun. But let's keep it simple with just like A's and C's. Let's roll off all the low end. Now, there's a lot. and it's a bit of a mess. The trick is going to be figuring out what I need to keep as far as EQ, what I can cut out, how I can weave these together in the mix. But I still want the acoustic guitars to be prominent. All right, let's listen to the final track.